Hey, hello, hello. All right, let me just make sure that this is working here. All right. So, hey everyone, happy Tuesday. You know what? Time flies so fast and just so crazy. I'm just like wondering um what day and time is it already? But I'm just so excited because I have a very special guest, but I just want to make sure that everything is good. All right, with our technology, right? So we are currently live here on our personal page on Facebook, our business page of EmpowrSoft, and also in LinkedIn. So if you're watching this live, please do say hi because it's going to be an exciting topic that business owners should listen and dive in because be ready for 2025, right? And I actually have a very special guest with me who is going to be amazing and talking about all the future of AI. So my name is Joanna. I'm the owner and founder of EmpowrSoft. We are your digital marketing and CRM platform, and we specialize in custom build CRM as well as AI integration, particularly voice AI. And I'm just so excited because when I dive deep into this whole space, right, of technology, besides what we offer for years in business, I was really looking for partners that I can depend on and really see what is going on with technology, right? Especially when I started now diving way into EmpowerSoft when we got that license and integrating it, and now we have voice AI. And I said like I want to make sure that I am partnering with an amazing company as well that can power Ella, which is our voice AI. And I'm going to introduce and bring him over in a few minutes. But of course, I'm going to say a little bit about our special guest. So, to that, today, joining us is a passionate AI transformation leader with over 20 years of experience in technology, product management, and agile software development. And every time I hear the word agile, because my husband is a scrum master, so that is a little bit of a familiar a word, but not much in terms of like maybe implementation. And he has a background in emerging technologies like AI, data, and sustainability. He has been like leading innovative projects for major organizations like including Nokia, BlackBerry. Oh my gosh, I remember these days when I was in college or high school when those technology are in, right? And a problem solver, people centric leader, and a die-hard Toronto. Am I correct there? Toronto Leaf fan. Welcome, Mohan Gulati. How are you?
Very good. Thank you, Joanna, for having me on here.
Yes, thank you so much for joining me because I know I kind of just tapped and said, like, hey, let's have a conversation. Let's talk about voice AI. But before we start that, besides what I've said to our audience here, I'd love to tell us more about you and your journey.
Yeah, I mean, you've kind of gone through all of it. I like your little flashback to the BlackBerry days. They were called Research in Motion back then.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And I was like, I started there as a co-op, and when I was working with them, their little BlackBerry devices that they used to have, the little like a pager device. We had a
Yes,
little mini Q-Tera keyboard. I was
yes.
the cool kid on campus because I worked at with one of those, and it was like really cool. And it actually kind of it's interesting because that's where my like understanding of communication
Mhm.
really started to come into play, and how transformative it is to how people can interact and communicate with each other. And I think voice AI is like the stepping stone of all stepping stones in terms of where communication can go. And we're just getting started.
I
I'm
know.
really excited to talk to you more about that. Aside from what you said, I will share that I'm internationally kind of been around the world. I've lived in different parts of the world, including Europe. I've lived about 8 years in Europe. Two of my kids were born there. I speak fluently German. And before I started the company that I work with now and that I run is Thinker.ai. I was working as a consultant, an accounting consultant, managing partner of a multimedia company that's global, working with the tier 100 brands, Nike, Starbucks, huge tier one banks,
Hmm.
across Canada, if you're from with Canada, but also in the US, right? So, and financial institutions. So a lot of those kind of big scale projects. So I bring a lot wealth of experience and how to build software projects. A lot of what you're talking about with agile and that term and everything that comes with it, right? I've
Yes.
been doing that kind of like since 20 years. Uh, it's been kind of my bread and butter. And the way we're approaching our whole understanding of voice AI is same thing, right? Is
Hmm.
bringing things out. It's moving so fast, faster than people can even keep up with it. And it is that iterative nature, it's that agile nature. Um, so that's important. We'll talk about that as we look at what's coming and how
Yes.
things are going to evolve. But just a little bit of background about who I am, and you can tell how passionate I am about this.
I
So,
know, and that's why when when Rahul, Cody, Adam, and all of these amazing men, right, behind the scene, and kind of like, hey, Mohan, let me check out what you have there, right? And especially in the world right now that AI is really being thrown at us front and center in our face, right? It's like,
yeah.
and I remember, that time we're in now, like technology is coming in. It's so fast, it's so quick. It's like I've just implemented this, build it out, integrated it, and something again kind of happened. And it's just too much. And coming from people that kind of work with it, build it, with you as well. That's why I'm so excited with EmpowrSoft and Ava and Tinker kind of integrating together, helping the practices and businesses that we serve. Is that it can really be overwhelming. So you took like one thing there, communication, right? Communication of some sort, and just communicating the understanding. I hope my question kind of makes sense. Like, how can a business kind of like be ready for it and not too overwhelmed by it? Because we take the overwhelm, right? And that's why I love the tool that we've integrated, because oh my gosh, it's just so simplified. Because I didn't have a 20 years tech experience. I was a mass communication graduate, wanted to be a newscaster. That's why I love doing this type of scene. But I think that question is, how can a business kind of be ready and kind of just like envision that, okay, my business would need the voice AI or the AI that we are putting out there?
Um, I'm going to choose to answer this question in a
Yes.
very, very kind of, I mean, the first thing is like the mission that we're on is to build plug and play AI solutions,
Yep.
right, for businesses. So when you think of that, the plug and play nature means you should focus on your business first. You shouldn't focus on the technology. Technology should work for you, right? So when EmpowrSoft goes and provides this for your clients, you really want to take the approach to not boil the ocean,
Mm.
right? And you want to be able to rapidly focus on the business outcomes that you're focused on, right? So what I see is a lot of people that go in and start getting into AI voice or get into any kind of tech, and they'll try to handle every single case and every single thing that they want to. And it's really start small. Start small, focus on the most lowest hanging fruit, get those to work for you, get your feet wet, and then you'll see like it's a snowball effect. It just starts to work and work and work. And with voice AI in particular, this is also the case, right? So like let's take a very common example. I am a roofer
Mhm.
and I'm using this for my business. How do I choose to use it, right? Well, start very simple. Just have it call out and schedule your appointments with for you, right? Oh, did I lose you, Joanna? I think I lost Joanna.
You're
There we go.
good.
Did you switch seats on me?
Yes, I switched it on you.
All right. It's like it's not virtual anymore. It's a real room.
I know. Like, oh, hold on.
But my point that I was making was that you really want to start with just simple cases, right? Book calls with just to, go back through your database. I call it database reactivation,
Yes.
where you just call them out and book over the call with voice AI appointments and
Yep.
set that up. And that, like, if you think of the time you spend to do that,
Oh,
right? Even warm lead, your clients that you call, you're calling 130 people, of which 10 people will pick up the call.
yeah.
10 people pick up the call, six of them give you the time of day to talk to you. Of those six that give you the time, three of them agree to meet with you. And
Yep.
unfortunately, we know the no shows, right? So like one person shows up. So that's 130 calls that you spent time doing to get one actual lead that you can talk to and confirm. That's a huge effort.
It is.
Voice AI eliminates the need for you to spend that time doing that. It can do that on your behalf. And
That
it's
is
such
so
a
true.
right, such an awesome feeling to be able to see that happen.
It is. And, with sales experience as well during the corporate days, just the mental note of preparing for a call, even if it's like a warm lead, right? Or a
Yeah.
warm number, it's really just, okay, what I need to do, what I do. And then, especially when you're somebody who's like, talk and in different directions, right? Sometimes it can get lost. Then you forget, oh, I was supposed to book a call for you. Like, where was that? Right. So it really kind of limits that, of course. And the one thing that I love about is that focusing, like identifying what you want the voice AI to do first. And with ours, it's the outbound and the inbound, but focusing until we started really releasing the outbound first because
Yep.
we want to reach out, we want to reactivate. Because if you're a business owner, take a pause right now. How many years have you been in business? And how many either leads that you have not talked in 2020, 2021? Look it up and then see if you can actually call it yourself, like you yourself. If you have a front desk, tell if they're like, can you call of this, and see how many they'll call, or are they going to push back like, hold on, I got too many tasks, right? So leveraging technology and identifying how can help that is the main reason we're so passionate. Tinker with Ava, with Ella, with EmpowrSoft. I know a lot of names, right? But you're gonna get used to it. But it's really this intention of booking a call so that you can have a conversation, and this can really apply in all industry that needs to call a client.
It does. It's not limited by niche. Um, and I think that's the beauty of it is if you think about it, you can really come up with a playbook
Mhm.
for any niche that you're in. Um,
Yes.
uh, like I talked about the services industry, but you could take real estate, you could take financial advisors, you could take you know, literally fitness studios and gyms are seeing huge success with this in their marketing campaign. We
Yeah.
talked about marketing agencies are using this, coaching agencies are using this. This is just it's phenomenal, right? Like the it doesn't stop, and they all taking the same techniques. I think we should talk about how cool the tech is, though, right? We should at
Yes.
least give it like a 5 second, like how cool the tech is, because like I don't know if people
Sure.
have experienced it or actually had a chance to like hear it, but this thing sounds extremely human-like,
It
uh,
is.
right? Well,
It
tell me
really
what your
is.
experience was when you first heard it.
I was like, oh my gosh, this because how many times have I got robot calls, right? Or
Yeah.
those like when I call a dental office and I press one, press two. I said, okay, fine. But then I just love how the intonation goes, the pause, the kind of emotion, kind of like, oh, I understand, Joanna. Oh yeah, sure. All of these things, and it was like, oh my gosh, this is really powerful. And I had somebody in Indiana who tested it, said like, this is amazing. Like all of this people, right, are amazing, are amazing. And now they're really kind of figuring things out, like, how can I implement this? How can I implement this? Right. But one thing I do get, like just behind the scene conversation, like, this is scary. Like there's oh, this is amazing, but this is scary, right? Like, but how
Mm.
do you kind of like, it's just how will it be? And we want, and with you and the system is that you really wanted it to have that emotional, that human tone. That's where you kind of come, what we're building.
I think one of the things that is the psychology of voice that we need to understand, and that's where I was going with communication when we started talking about BlackBerry and research in motion. And you being a student of communication yourself, um, the whole point is we correspond psychologically to things that sound like us, that act like us, look like us.
Yes.
Um, and the fact that AI can mimic that um, can seem scary at first, but as you start using it, you can see,
Mhm.
wow, this is super helpful. This is super useful.
Yes.
And again,
Yep. And I want to, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
no, no, please go ahead.
Yeah, and I just want to also share that once we integrate our voice AI with businesses, is that they can actually choose the type, whether they want a male or a female, right? That the English, the British, and we are actually rolling out multiple type of languages. And I'm just like, this is so fancy.
Yes. Spanish is the first one, Mexican Spanish
Mhm.
coming out, and then we got French, and like I mean, you have to understand that languages that people speak is really, really important. And the nice thing
Yes.
about AI, so AI is backed by like large language models, right? This
Mhm.
is the heart of it. And large language models are multilingual. They understand lots of languages, right? They've been trained on that. But people are like, oh, why did what's the work that you got to do to bring it out? And like, wait a second, we're now talking about the next level of experience, which is with voice.
Mm.
And anything we do, we want to make sure that it's of a high quality and a high caliber, which means we want to make sure that people, when they converse, they feel like they're talking to somebody who's not robotic.
Yep.
That sounds right. And there's different ways in which people talk in different languages. It's not identical. Like I know because I speak 3 different languages, and if I will translate literally what I say in English to like German or to Hindi, it's like it's not going to work, right?
Yeah,
Because you have
true.
to like think differently structurally. So AI does some of that for you, but then you also have to think of how to get it to sound like a conversation that they would naturally have, because it needs to be successful not just in English but in French and in Spanish and whatever language we bring out, right?
Yes, that is true. And especially with the phone, right? I think the next generation is basically, texting and everything, but calling and having that
Yeah,
clear communication is very important. Just like, for example, my father-in-law, who is have hearing aid and already have like kind of have her hearing, but so different intonation or different pronunciation can be hard at times. So if we kind of intentionally
yeah,
adapt to our, a need of either a customer or a client or a patient, it really helps a lot. It really helps a lot. And that's what we're really working with the voice AI to make sure that it can alleviate that communication barrier. I mean, you have 3 language. I'm Filipino, I'm English, and it's so true. My brain sometimes find English that it's the Filipino word, but then hold on, that doesn't make sense in English, right? So now with technology, it really just help communication really well. Now, voice AI, the impact of it's in the business world is going to be amazing. I just can see like, hey, if you
yeah,
put this into your business, the because I was googling like Indeed, right? Just how many front desk hiring are there just for like to call. Like, what if you can hire that someone, but then that particular task is
yeah,
delegated? Wouldn't it be saving you money in your business, create efficiency, and bring in sales, right? So that's like one of the key things that I was really thinking, I really believe can really help business owners.
yeah.
Now, voice AI we've mentioned, or AI, is fast. What is like the next years? I had my questionnaire like 5 to 10 years. I think it's gonna be like, what's gonna be in the next year? Like literally next year, 2025 for us. Like,
Yeah.
how fast are things
So
happening?
so we understand current state, right? So current state um, is really, really good,
Hmm.
but honestly, there's more work to be done. Okay,
Okay.
so and that work is going to be done rapidly, and it's going to be adopted. So the first thing, like you talked about, but we kind of missed,
Yep.
and what's going to happen really, really in a big way in the next, let's say within the next year, even earlier, is we're going to see about 8.4 billion AI voice assistants in the world.
Wow.
That's the projected amount. That's more than the amount of human beings in the world right now. We're 8.2 billion. So it's like more AI voice assistants. And the reason why they're going to exist pervasively. They're going to basically seamlessly fit into and be integrated into everything we do. It's going to be integrated in your home. It's going to be integrated in your phone. It's going to be a voice call. It's going to be um, your car. Right? I was using my Tesla the other day. Like again, everywhere this is, but we're not talking just about like again this giving commands, a Siri-like example. If I can use, we're still waiting for Siri to evolve. Apple's promised us, but I'm still seeing really, really poor experiences on Siri, if I'm being honest with you. I'm sure Apple's got it right. They'll get it out there, but they haven't yet released that magical moment for me.
Hmm.
Which is speaking to like where the opportunity goes is like within your business, right?
Hmm.
You need to take the time and the effort to actually have something that can manifest and change what you're doing. What do I mean? if you use some other tech and you're not able to like use it for your business, it's almost like, great, this tech exists, but how do I use it for my business? That's the focus that we want to make sure we have. We want to make sure that we're providing solutions for things that are use cases in any business. Like, hey, do you have a cancellations or debt management or people fail to pay?
Yes.
Wouldn't that be cool if AI just automatically called them? Use the word automatic, by the way, right?
Hmm.
And was pleasant when it needed to be pleasant, but firm when it needed to be firm, right? And downright persuasive to get what they need, right? So all of these things are just very simple use cases. We just talked about booking appointments, but think of the other areas. Think of training, thinking of book one-on-one meetings with your team. All of these things will be driven by voice AI.
Yes.
Okay. And that's one of the first trends you're going to see is that because it's integrating into all these different areas, you're going to see it just become commonplace. If you're not using voice AI or you're like scared to use voice AI, it's gonna be so much like around you that you're gonna have to get over that kind of hump, right?
Yep.
Otherwise, you kind of miss opportunities. We say that AI is going to take away my job. Not really. It's gonna be the people that know AI. In the same way, businesses that don't use AI are going to be leapfrogged by businesses that do use AI.
Yeah, that is a very good point. Like the fear of replacement of one's job or one's profession. And it's so funny. I just read this one in LinkedIn, but anyone can correct me. But Klarna, the payment gateway, sorry, they are integrating AI into their whole process. That
Yeah, yeah,
even
yeah, yeah.
the CEO said, like, AI can eventually replace me, right? Because of task and everything. But then they saw a spark, like people did not lose their job, they even get, because of efficiency. It was the efficiency of things incorporating in the AI, and then the team now are more efficient, and they were more profitable, they were able to increase their salary and all of these things. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's basically what I understood based on that article. So there's really power into integrating AI into the business, and just be
Yeah.
ready for it, and like be knowledgeable enough to identify, to incorporate this in your business, in which area in your business this can really help you. And that's where we are coming in with you as the founder and implementer builder, and me as someone who's partnering with Tinker as well, incorporating it with EmpowrSoft. Our main goal is to really help streamline and empower businesses to make use of the voice AI. Now, you've mentioned, right? I mean, fear is one thing that people can always say, right? How, like security, I think that's one thing with technology, with everything, right? Is there any, because there will always be, guys, given there's always be bad guy, no matter what, there will be people that
Yeah.
will test it out and everything. But what are some things that you kind of like, you and your team are behind the scene, or like doing on some sense when it comes to this topic?
So I think first and foremost, it's privacy and data privacy. So we
Hmm.
make sure that the data is always encrypted at rest and in flight. That's really, really important. I think creating very strong login kind of capabilities are part of it. Um, but I think it's also about thinking about the impact of um, the experience that you have, because this is business data, right?
Yeah.
And we want to make sure that we take that very seriously. And we don't, just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do something.
Yes.
And this comes down to like a very simple case for you is like the ethics. People come to me and say, can I have my voice on AI? And can I use my voice for AI? And my answer to them is like, technically, this is not hard to do. It's actually quite simple. Um, but we've made a business choice and an ethical choice not to do that. Why? Because I'm yet to hear of a use case where it couldn't be misused,
Hmm.
right? So actually, somebody just came to me and said, "But what if I want to leave a voice note and I want to leave that voice note in my own voice? Is that something that you could do?" That to me is actually a valid use case, providing that voice note is also like not leaving a ransom note or yelling, "Hey, mom, dad, I'm being like, these are
Yes.
bad actors that do things like
Yep.
that. So we're exploring, like, and that's what kind of gives you an idea of how we treat security, how we treat
Yes.
the ethics. Like we explore all of these options, but just because we can do something, we won't do it. Right? That doesn't mean we're going to
Yes.
do it. So we and there are other people that they like making this enabled and let you do it, and definitely that'll be a lot. But we want to understand who we want to be, what's our identity, and how we
Yes.
want to help that. So that was one of the choice we made as an example. The other thing that you have to kind of understand, if we go back to like your mix the two questions together, the future,
Hmm.
where this is going to be about the fact that this is going to have more innovation. It's going to sound even more human. There's going to be empathy built into these AIs, right? This is the trend that's coming like in the next months. This is where the technology is leading us to, which is meaning that the ability to convince and to fool people will be even bigger of a
Hmm.
concern if you don't think
Yep.
about it, right? So that's where you want to make sure that, Joanna, when you go to your business owners, you're like talking to them about things like this is not going to happen because we're making choices already which are preventing those things from happening, right?
I
So
love that one.
I think that's really important to like take home, like, because you're going to have the ability to reason, you're going to
Hmm.
have the ability to argue, you're going to have
Yep.
the ability to like convince, and that's great if you're like a salesperson, you want to have a sales agent that runs voice AI on, super. But you also want to make sure that you have the guardrails in place to make sure that if somebody says, hey, are you an AI?
Yeah.
The
The
answer
answer.
should be, "Yes, I am,
Yes.
and I'm representing Joanna, and I'm doing XYZ," right?
Hmm.
This is the whole game plan here.
Yeah. And I love that word. The keyword is the ethic, being ethical as a business owner. We all have a mission and vision, right? At the end of the day, we want to help business owners, and really us, and even me myself, I had to read like those FTC with audio, like all of those, everything just empowering, so that when I go to a business owner, like, hey, this is what we do, this is what we offer, this is what we build within this parameter, and really be responsible. So if you're a business owner, right, you want to work with EmpowrSoft and incorporating Tinker AI and the voice AI into your business, we are here because we are really on a mission to help out and to really empower business owners with that ethical mission of, hey, this is the parameter that we work around. And
Yeah.
I'm so glad you've emphasized that. And for those who've actually missed our broadcast last week, scan this code. You can go ahead and test our voice AI. There are case bases there. Call, test it out, play. Ask it question. I asked one time, "How's the Kentucky game?" And she said, "Oh, I can't. I'm not really have that sport information, but I think you're so passionate about Kentucky basketball." I said, "Hey, yes." So that was really fun, right? So that was really fun at all. So with with everything that you have, right? So incorporating and everything. So again, with that one, we've kind of mentioned about the future with the epithet. Is there any other thing that is so excited for us? I did test the inbound a while ago, so that was fun. That was fun. So is there any other thing that for 2025 in a roadmap? There's a lot. I know there's a lot. We talk a lot
There's
behind
a
the scene.
lot. So, when it comes to inbound, we think of inbound like roles, right?
Mhm,
So the first role that we've kind of launched is something called a receptionist, who can answer your phone, book meetings for you, do live voice transfers.
mhm.
Awesome. Works
Yep.
great. Um, but think of all the other kind of in
Oops. Oh, there you go. There you go. I
I
lost
think
you there.
I think you lost me for a second.
Yeah.
So I was saying, think of all of the different kinds of inbound roles that you can have. One of the roles is receptionist today, but it could very much be a virtual assistant.
Mhm.
What does a virtual assistant do? Well, go to a meeting. I'm with my client and we're talking, and now I'm going out of the meeting and I call my virtual assistant. Hey, I just got out of call with George. Can you make sure we schedule a meeting with him in a month? And by
Wow.
the way, here are the notes that took from the meeting. Just can you make sure that you assign this to um, Max so that Max can implement the proposal that we have to do? And it's really important to strike this clause. Boom, done. That's the kind of future of where it seems. This is what I meant when I said understands your business. It works for you, is the stuff that you are doing. It understands who Max is. It understands what proposal you're talking about. It understands the parameters to book something within the next month for George and confirm that. And it does it all automatically, autonomously. This brings up the key point. The future of voice AI is built upon autonomous agents. It's going to be a huge theme. There's going to be agents that do.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
I don't know how much of that you caught, but
Yeah. Voice agent. Yeah.
yeah, I'm just saying that the agents are going to be talking to each other,
Yes.
and they're going to be able to do different tasks. It's like you're going to have like a team, an army behind one single phone call.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and that's kind of where we're taking it to. This is the next level that we're going to.
I'm so excited because not just for my clients and for the practices that I want to tap, but also for my business itself. Because I know the struggle, like me as the front and center, right, of the strategy and the sales and the connection and networking. Like I can do all of these things, but really takes a lot of time. And if I can just really prompt it, on the very front end, have that conversation, either it's outbound or inbound, and I come in and now in a more strategic way, right, like in closing deals and making sure every customer service is really good. And the good thing about that is that we're connecting it with EmpowrSoft, so more power in terms of automation,
Correct.
workflow, the after capture of the voice AI, because that's the reason why we're so really into the custom build of the CRM, is making sure that leads doesn't fall off the crack. I mean, we've been hearing that one, and that's a reality, right?
Yeah.
Leads really falls off the crack.
Well, these fall through the crack, but like here's a very something you can do today, right? Which I think is important to emphasize for everybody listening is you're gonna have a phone call that the AI makes.
Mhm.
It's gonna know who the person is that's on in your CRM. So it's gonna know it's talking to John, and then it's gonna be able to update John's record in your CRM with the full transcript of the call that it
Yes.
had, and even potentially the sentiment of the call. Did the call go well? Did the call not go well? What was, and then it gives you, and you can set up automations on how you want to like respond when different things happen. This
Yes.
is unbelievably powerful. And all this is happening automatically. And, it's basically you can be anywhere you want to be. If you got to take your kids to a soccer game, take your kids to the soccer game. If you've got to like, take a night off all of a sudden because you wanted to go out with your spouse, do that. Again, knowing in fact, this is actually funny. One of my clients took their clients out for business dinner. And while they were out at that business dinner, AI was still at work, booked 9 meetings the next day for them.
Ooh.
So, right, like, and that's the type of stories that you hear about, the success stories that you hear, and you say, "This is the power we have today, not tomorrow. How does it get better?" Well, I've described one example. The other example is just think of like, and I won't give away everything on our roadmap, but I will say it's going to be everywhere.
Yes. And with the two of us, with you in our corner, right? We are ready to actually have that conversation with you. If you're a small business owner and you would love to have this is why we're doing this. It's because we want to
Yeah.
serve you and just learn from it. So there's a QR code right now. Scan it on your phone. You can always do the testing. Go ahead and call it out. Have a conversation with it. It's just so fun. What are other things that you would love to kind of, as we end this conversation as well, any advice or anything else that you would love to share?
Um, I'm just going to say that if you've been hearing about AI and you think, "Oh, I'm too late to the game and I haven't started yet and I don't know how to do or where to get started," contact Joanna. Joanna knows what she's talking about. She's been in the game for a while. She knows how to build bespoke business solutions. Um, and really, you're early. You're still very much in the early adopter phase, but that lead is going to evaporate fast. So don't overthink it. Start small, get started. Your business will flourish. And the goal should be that within the next, after talking to Joanna and getting started, you should be up and running weeks,
Yeah.
within weeks of proven use cases that you can do. I was going to say days, but I don't want to like
Manage
overwhelm everybody.
expectation. Manage
Well, you
expectation.
can set up an inbound receptionist within hours.
Yeah.
That's absolutely possible. But to understand your business and to create the right use cases where Joanna's kind of forte lies, you want to absolutely um, be prepared for that adoption. And again, start small, don't boil the ocean,
Yes.
and you'll see within months your income, your ROI is massive.
That is amazing. Yep, I love that one. And that's for sure. With us, you can surely schedule a call at EmpowrSoft.com. We have there. And if everything you need support, me and Mohan can surely collaborate. And if you have even cases that you kind of like envision that you would love to have, that's where we are partnering with reliable partners here. We're building things and we're so excited as Tinker.ai and EmpowrSoft for the 2025. And I'm just so excited for it. That's why, Mohan, it's really an honor to be part of the circle that we're in and kind of just learning from you, the support that you have for agency as well. I'm really looking forward to be that advocate for what you are building and really seeing, yeah, 2025, right? For all of us.
It's going to be a very exciting year, and it's going to be a ride. Get
Yeah.
ready. Buckle up.
I know, like I haven't actually like got out of my chair lately because I'm so dived in, just having fun with this. So like, hold on, like, yeah. So Mohan, thank you so much for your time. I
My
know there's
pleasure.
a lot of things going on behind the scenes. So make sure to follow us, and if ever you would like to learn more, just give us an email. You can visit my website, EmpowrSoft.com. I'll be able to answer and do a consultation to make sure that we empower you with voice AI as well. All right. Thank you so much, Mohan. Have
Thank
a
you.
wonderful day. All right.
Bye.
Bye. All right. So, for those of you, I hope you find it valuable. If you have any question, please do let us know. And I'm so excited. And if you want to learn more about EmpowerSoft, make sure to check this one out and have a wonderful
This is
day.
Alex, a small business owner swamped with tasks. Between juggling emails, texts, and calls from customers, following up on leads, and managing invoices, there's hardly time for anything else. It's a story many can relate to. But what if there was a way to cut through the chaos? Enter EmpowrSoft, the all-in-one platform designed to streamline your business operations. First off, the unified inbox, a game changer for Alex, consolidating all messages in one place. No more app hopping, just seamless communication. Next, EmpowrSoft takes on the follow-up frenzy with automated sequences. Now, Alex's leads receive timely communications, nurturing them from cold contacts to warm prospects without lifting a finger. In invoicing, EmpowrSoft turns what used to be a headache into a breeze. With online invoicing, bills are sent directly to customers' inboxes, speeding up payments and keeping the cash flowing. From overwhelmed to in control, Alex watches as EmpowrSoft transforms the way his business operates. Tasks that once ate up hours are now handled efficiently, giving Alex more time to grow his business. EmpowrSoft isn't just a tool, it's the solution to the everyday problems small business owners face. Ready to take your business to the next level like Alex? Sign up for EmpowrSoft today and start your journey towards streamlined success.